Hello everyone, Cindy here with Monarch Mom DIY. Thank you so much for joining me today on my channel where I love to bring you the best tips and tools for creating beautiful home decor on a budget. Today I have 5 more easy fall decor DIYs for you that look amazing and are very easy to do. So let's get into it. For today's first DIY, I am making a standing blessed pumpkin sign using tumbling tower blocks, this pumpkin that has one hanging in the middle, this thankful and blessed wood DIY sign, and some scrapbook paper. So the first thing I'm doing is removing the center pumpkin from this sign, and we're just going to use the outer frame, the pumpkin frame of the sign. And then I am going to cover this with this white shiplap scrapbook paper, but first I'm going to take my plaster chalk paint and I'm going to paint over the glitter. This is just going to give us the neutral color that I want and also keep any more of the glitter hopefully from falling off. I am going to paint this glitter side, also the back side and the edges of this. While that's drying, I'm going to take one of these wood signs that are new this fall, and I'm going to carefully cut off the word thankful and the and sign. I just want the word blessed and the little leaf garland there at the bottom. Now, using your scissors, you can do this very carefully. However, if you do accidentally break the other word, that's okay. I can still use it later, just gluing that letter back together. So now I have the piece that I want to use. I'm just going to, again, use my scissors to trim it up, make it look even, and also sand any rough edges. For the coloring of this, I'm going to use my antique wax for the word blessed. And I am going to use this on both the front and the back, just so the back side of my project does look finished in case I do decide to sell this in my craft show. So brush it on, and then once you have it covered, just use a paper towel and carefully wipe off the excess. You don't want to snap any more of these letters apart. And then, like I said, flip it over and do the same thing to the back side. Once our word is dry, I'm going to take Waverly chalk paint in the color Moss, and I'm just going to paint one coat on the leaves and the garland, and I am going to do this on both the front and the back side. To make the stand for our sign, I'm going to take 24 of the tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to glue them together in a long line like this of 6, and I'm going to make 4 of those lines, just making sure it's going to be wide enough. And then 2 rows will be glued together for the front of the sign and 2 rows for the back, you can see there. While those are drying, now that my paint is dry on my pumpkin, I'm going to just trace around the outside and the inside of this pumpkin frame on my scrapbook paper, cut it out, and then go ahead and Mod Podge that. I did decide to Mod Podge it onto what was the back. It's just a little bit more of a smoother surface. Once our paper is dry, I'm going to just put a little dot of hot glue on the back of the stem, attach an end of my jute twine, and we're just going to wrap it around the stem of the pumpkin, kind of overlapping there where the paper edge is so that you can't see that. This is just going to give us some more texture to our sign and also help us cover up that hole at the top. Then once you get to the top there, just carefully apply some hot glue and gently wrap and lay that jute twine on there. Now you can see to attach my word to the front of my pumpkin, I'm just going to apply some hot glue, just a little bit in these four corners to be able to have our blessed kind of coming out from the pumpkin frame. You can see I got a little piece that broke off there, but it's not a big deal. Just put some glue on and it stuck right back down. Now coming back to our tumbling tower blocks for our stand, I'm going to just paint my two pieces here with my truffle chalk paint just to get that nice dark brown neutral color, and we'll let those dry. I did paint front and back and all the sides. Once they're dry, you can see I'm just putting some hot glue right here at the bottom of my pumpkin, centering it on one of those sets of tumbling tower blocks, and then I'm just pinching it between the two sets until the glue is set, and then we'll turn it around, put glue here on the back set of tumbling tower blocks, and again pinch that together until our sign is dry and can stand. I'm just going to embellish the front here with a little bit more of this lamb's ear garland from Hobby Lobby. I've been using it for a while. Just keep cutting pieces off, and then one more little piece in the center, and we will be all finished with this project. Well, I lied. One more little finishing touch. After we get the lamb's ear, I'm going to make one of my little simple jute twine bows. Just wrap it around your fingers a few times, then tie another piece to tie it off in the center. We're going to glue this at the top by the stem, and then also add one little bow made out of our black and white gingham ribbon. And here's our finished look. I just think this is so beautiful and neutral and simple, and I know it's very on trend with things that I've seen in Kirkland's website and some other high-end stores. If you are new to my channel today, stopping by for the first time, I hope you'll consider sticking around by hitting that subscribe button. And I hope everyone hits the bell and make sure your notifications are on so YouTube will let you know each time I upload a new video. Currently, I am uploading once a week on Sunday evenings, and we do a live premiere where we can chat in the chat box, and I love to interact with my subscribers and viewers. DIY number 2 is a neutral makeover on this metal pumpkin from Dollar Tree, along with this blank wood sign from Michael's and some chalk paint. So this metal stake was actually really easy to remove from the back, and then I'm also going to take off this raffia bow. And I don't necessarily have a problem with this color. I just wanted to show you how you can take something from Dollar Tree and change it up very simply to better go with your decor or your taste. I do love the texture on this metal pumpkin, and I'm just going to paint over the orange with my plaster chalk paint and then go over the stem with my truffle chalk paint. I think you can even see the design on the metal even more with that plaster lighter colored chalk paint. I am going to keep the leaves the color they were. I did retie the raffia bow, make it a little more fluffy. And then I'm going to take that black and white gingham ribbon again from Hobby Lobby and just tie another small little bow to glue on top of the raffia bow. I love these wood plaques from Michaels. They are just a few dollars when you get them on sale. And I'm just going to take a combination of E6000 and some hot glue to attach this metal pumpkin now to the center of this wood sign, just elevating the look and the value even more. I did add a couple jars of paint to it just to weigh it down until it was dry. And here is the finished look. I think this looks so cute and neutral to go with any fall farmhouse decor. DIY number 3 for today is a set of Hello Pumpkin word blocks with a stand using the foam dice, 2 5-gallon paint sticks, 2 of the bamboo cutting boards, and some poster letters. I'm also going to use some orange balloons from the dollar store. Now I'm using 7 of the foam dice, and I will need 14 balloons because I will need 2 to fully cover each of my foam dice. So just cutting off the neck there after stretching it out, you're going to just stretch your balloon over the foam dice, working it with your fingers until you get the excess all the way around to the other side, and then just stretching it up a little bit, cut it with your scissors, and then take a second balloon, stretch it again, cut off the neck, and then you're going to wrap the foam dice coming from this side now so that you'll cover up that hole where you can see the foam dice sticking through. So here now, this is my top end going into the balloon. And then when you cut off the excess for the second balloon, all you see is the first balloon underneath. And we're actually going to cover that up with paper anyway. So that's how I covered my dice. That's the easiest way to do it. And I'm using now the top of my Waverly chalk paint bottle. I'm going to trace 14 of these circles on this fall scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. Cut those out, and then we're going to Mod Podge these circles to the top and bottom of my dice. So that would be where the excess balloon was cut off. Before I did that though, I decided to take my plaster chalk paint and just kind of dry brush it on my dice to kind of mute down that really bright orange of the balloons. So now, like I said, just taking some Mod Podge and spreading it out, we're going to glue these circles to the top and bottom. It just gives a little bit more of a decorative touch and does cover up where the balloon was cut off. Once I did that to the top and bottom of all 7 of my dice, I'm now going to take my poster letters and I'm going to spell out the word pumpkin. And then we will also Mod Podge over each of the sticker letters just so they don't peel off. Now to build the stand for our word blocks, I'm taking 2 of these 5-gallon paint sticks and I'm just cutting them with my saw right where it starts to get skinnier for the handle. And then flipping those over, I'm going to use a combination of wood glue and hot glue on these tumbling tower blocks to basically attach my 2 paint sticks together and also to raise it up just a tiny bit off the surface of the table. So just doing all 6 of those and then making sure they are straight and together, then you can flip this over and see that it's like a little riser. I'm also going to use those pieces I cut off and I'm going to do kind of the same thing to attach these 2 bamboo cutting boards together, again using both the wood glue and the hot glue to make this one longer piece of wood. Now to make my little riser match the bamboo cutting boards, I'm using this hazelnut Waverly chalk paint, but I'm also watering it down and brushing this on the paint sticks, and I'll also turn it over and do it on the tumbling tower blocks and on the sides and edges. I was really happy with how this matched the color of the bamboo cutting boards. Of course, you could paint the cutting boards and this a different color if you wanted to. I just decided to try to match the cutting boards. You could also do this with any acrylic paint and just water it down. Again, I know these are a weird shape, but they will be on the back of my project, so I'm just painting them just so they kind of blend in a little bit more with the entire project. Now you can, like you know from my videos, you can use many methods to make words on your signs. This time I just decided to freehand cursive the word hello with a pencil, and then I'm just going over it with my fine tip Elmer's black paint marker that I pick up at Walmart. And then going back over it, one thing I do know about hand lettering is your strokes coming down, you want to make a little bit thicker. So that's what I'm doing as I trace back over the word, is just making those downward strokes a little bit thicker. I will say that I did find the paint marker bled just a little bit on this bamboo cutting board. So if you don't like that, you could seal the cutting board with Mod Podge before you do the wording. Now I'm going to attach the riser to the cutting boards with a combination of wood glue and hot glue. You can see I'm leaving some space there, and now I'll go back with my hot glue gun and fill in those spaces. The hot glue just gives a grab right away, and then the wood glue will be the stronger bond once it is fully dry. So I'm going to set that flat, and then I'm going to stand up the cutting boards. It actually was like almost perfect the same width, and then just hold it in place for a second until that hot glue holds it. And then you can see now I've got my word blocks on there. It says Hello Pumpkin, and you could leave that blank space on the right, but I decided to come back to these Hobby Lobby wood stickers and glue some of those pumpkins on there. I love how this turned out. You could change the word blocks to say hello something else and maybe just pull off those pumpkins. But again, this was my project for this video that definitely developed as I went along. If you enjoy budget home decor DIYs, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really does help me to grow my channel and let YouTube know that people enjoy watching my videos. DIY number 4 is going to be a fall house 3D scene. I'm using one of these doll houses from the toy aisle, some of these fall miniatures, some LED lights, and this big wood circle from Hobby Lobby that I've used before. So these houses come in 2 different styles, and what's really cool is they pop apart. So the roof slides off, all the windows and doors can pop out, and this is really great for being able to paint the pieces. So I'm going to spray paint with these 3 colors, satin Dover white, warm caramel, and then black. Even though I sprayed a clear finish over, I did notice that the paint does scratch off, so I decided to go over my black again with my black chalk paint just to cover up any purple that you could see from before. If I was going to do this again, I probably would Mod Podge the whole thing first before I painted. I think that would really help the paint not to chip off, kind of like I do with glass jars. Now these wood circles again are 10 inches. You get 3 in a pack at Hobby Lobby for regularly $4.99. I'm just going to Mod Podge this leaf scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby on it so that it looks like the ground is covered with leaves. I did spray my paper with water, and I tell you what, it really does make a difference with being able to smooth it out. I even used the little topper from the package just to help get out any bubbles, and that seemed to do the trick. So here you can see I just took the house and some of the little miniatures that are out right now. And I'm going to take this battery pack of LED lights that I also got, I believe, from the Halloween aisle. And I'm just going to set them in the back here so that the windows of the house kind of light up. I will also say that I did not glue anything down to the wood circle. Of course, you can if you want to, but I just thought it would be really cute to have out as a little fall display. Lastly, you can see I took some of that adhesive cork sheet and just cut like a little sidewalk going up to the house in the middle of the leaves. This was super fun and would be a really fun idea for a child to do if they wanted. My last DIY is really simple. It's these fall candle holders. We're going to use 2 of these glass vases, 2 of these metal buckets with the jute twine, a pair of fall bows, some raffia, and I show regular candles here, but I really was trying to find the battery powered like 6-inch candles. I will say this many times during this part of the video. Do not light an actual candle with this grass stuff, okay? Because it will catch on fire. I am using a combination again of E6000 and hot glue to attach this glass vase into that space there on the metal bucket, the bottom of the metal bucket. And this holds really well. Of course, you're going to want to let it dry for a little while, but just stick that on there and squish that glue down and it fits almost perfectly. So again, ignore that this is a real candle. I just wanted you to see what it looks like. I know the Dollar Trees carry the battery powered candles that look like this, and I'm going to find some, but I wanted to get this video out, so I'm just going to glue these candles in, but I am not ever going to light them, okay? So then using some of this like raffia straw shred, I'm going to make kind of a little circle, and I'm going to stick that down so that it goes around the candle, poke it down there with a paintbrush or whatever to get it down there in the bottom, and do that to both of the glass vases. Then Dollar Tree has a variety of these bows that match. I liked those, but I liked these a little bit better. And we're just going to hot glue it right there on the metal bucket, right to cover up where it meets up with the glass vase. And that is literally it. These look so cute on my fireplace mantle. And I really hope I can find the battery powered candles again so that I can actually have them turn on. But this is a really simple, easy project. You can even rip off the bows and change them for Christmas. And they just look really nice and are actually a nice, decent height. Thanks again for joining me today, everyone, and I look forward to sharing more DIYs with you next week. Take care.